marvellous. That's really what I need, is to be in a car that isn't charging and could conk out at any moment and have the traffic just grind to a halt. That's bad times indeed. Well, this isn't a video I was hoping to make. I'm on my way to Coventry in Rita the Rover here, and we've made it as far as Welshpool, which is about, actually it's almost exactly halfway between home and Coventry. And sadly the battery light came on, and I noticed immediately that the headlamps were going dim. So I'm a bit annoyed. Cars have a habit of doing this, of not telling you the battery's not charging until you've got pretty much no battery left. So yeah, I'm now a bit stuffed. I've called breakdown because I have no tools with me. I don't have an alternator with me. The belt seems to be there. I think the alternator must have just packed up, and it's just unfortunate for me that it's done it on this trip. I mean, it could be worse. I'm at a supermarket. It's one of those breakdowns where you get to choose where to break down, and as the engine was still running, I thought I would drive to a supermarket. I was going to go to the train station because my initial thinking was to jump on a train instead, but as I turned around the roundabout and started coming back to Welshpool, I saw the train departing, and there is another one in about 40 minutes, but I'm not sure just abandoning the car is quite the answer here, especially as I know that train terminates at Birmingham International, which is fairly close to Coventry but isn't Coventry. So then how do I get to the hotel? How do I get to the video shoot I'm meant to be doing tomorrow? A very significant video shoot, which is why I'm particularly distressed to be broken down at this point. I'm really not sure what I can do really other than sit here. I've called Auto Aid, actually used their app to log the call this time. Miss Hubnut's feeling completely useless because she can't do anything, but on the plus side, the original plan was for Miss Hubnut to come on this trip, but we worked it out that we'd probably have to leave home at something like 5:30 in the morning to get to the video shoot in time. It's a modern car, so it's not like the usual sort of fairly relaxed affair. So at least Miss Hubnut is not with me, and we're not stranded many miles away from her children. That could have been really, really bad, but yeah, it's just one of those things, I guess. I'm now stuck in a car park. I might shut the door so at least I stay warm. It's not particularly cold tonight. It's about 10 degrees. I'm talking to you on the Canon because the Canon has developed some issues with my wireless mic, so I'm actually planning to use the DJI Osmo. I don't want to flatten the battery on that because I don't know how things are going to pan out. This is my backup battery. But yeah, at the moment my thinking is probably to get recovered to Coventry, so I can get a taxi to where I need to be to do the video shoot tomorrow, and then I don't really know after that. Find someone in Coventry to try and fix it. I'm going to be a few hours on the shoot, so I've got some time to try and find someone to fix the Rover. I can't even see where the alternator is. It's all so crammed in down that end. Yeah, I don't know how to solve it at all. I doubt anyone coming out. The breakdown chap is going to be able to sort it. I don't think that's going to work because I don't see what they're going to be able to do unless they happen to have an alternator. It's now 8:20 at night, so they're not going to be able to go to a motor factor and find an alternator. If that's something they do, I don't even know. Can they dismantle it and fit new brushes? Who knows? I don't know. But I suspect it's a recovery job, and yeah, my plan is to get recovered to Coventry, but you know, I'm starting to face the fact I'm not going to be in Coventry anytime soon. I was hoping to be there about 9:45 tonight. I thought that'd be just in time. I like a 10 o'clock bedtime or I turn into a pumpkin. I don't know what I'm going to do now. My evening is yeah, it's now problematic, but at least there's a supermarket so I can go and buy some food and drink if I so fancy. Yeah, that's 2 breakdowns in recent months. That's surprisingly, that is not Hubnut. I don't often have complete failures like this, but yeah, I'm stuffed. Put my faith in a cheap old Rover and it's let me down. Bother. Well, that's not bad going. We got the recovery truck here. That's been about, I don't know, half an hour maybe half hour. Doesn't feel like that long, but yeah, it looks like we're on, so I better go and we'll see if we can get loaded up. Well, we've made it to Coventry. This is Coventry. There's a Peugeot dealer over there, a BP garage over there, petrol station. I used to regularly pop in there when I worked just around the corner, but bizarrely Rita might be fixed. I'm going to pop in because the chap gamely reversed her off the truck without the engine running to sort of try and save as much as power as possible. Now the battery light has gone out, so that's the handbrake warning there, and the headlights seem nice and bright, so I think she's alright again, which is just utterly bizarre. So really all I've done is just actually take an hour and a half longer to get here, but I saved loads of fuel because Rita wasn't running at all. But I'm going to go to my hotel room now. I'm going to worry about this in the morning. If she starts, brilliant. We haven't got to go far to go and do what I've got to do, and yeah, we shall see how the day unfolds tomorrow. Well, here we are. Coventry is waking up. It's actually just gone 9 o'clock in the morning, so it's not the earliest, but time to find out if Rita's going to play ball today. That one can go in the boot. I haven't fixed the boot yet, so I can't actually open it with a key. There we go. And we'll see if she'll start today, and if the battery light is on or not. It looks like I left her in neutral. Bit unlike me. Start the engine, glow plugs, wait for the glow plugs. We seem to have charging. Well, that's encouraging. So next step is I've got to drive to PSA Group, Peugeot Citroën, now merged with Fiat to create a monster, and Vauxhall as well, all part of the same thing. So we'll go and get the day done, and then hopefully we'll be on our way home. Please work, Rita, please. Well, there we go. I'm saying goodbye to the Ami. It's been given a wipe over because of the old COVID measures. So thank you, PSA. That was a very interesting experience, and we'll head back to Wales and hope the Rover keeps charging. It's currently 11:45. It's going to take a good 4 hours to get back home, so I better get cracking on, really. Yeah, you should get the Ami video out hopefully in a few days. There's a slight change because it's going to be a sponsored video. I don't usually do sponsored videos, but you know, sponsorship helps cover the costs of these trips, the hotel room, etc. So don't worry, I'm not going to suddenly go sponsored videos all the time, but I thought I'd give this one a try, so you can check out that in a future video. But yeah, I'm going to keep following the signs for M6, there we go, and get myself back to Wales. Please just get me back, Rita. So we're on the M6 motorway. The weather's absolutely horrific. The lights come on again, the wipers are going slow. I daren't turn my headlights off because it is so dark and so wet at the moment. So I've got a truck next to me, hasn't got any lights on at all. So I think as we're slowing down, I'm going to drop back to side lights again. Try and drop down to intermittent wipe. Clearly the problem has not miraculously gone away, and yeah, question is, can I get back to Wales before the battery goes flat? In a conventional diesel, I would consider my chances pretty high, but this has got 2 electric fuel pumps and a lot of more complexity, lots of ECUs going on. I don't know how power hungry those are. I am somewhat concerned at this point, and Oh, slowing down to a crawl on the motorway, that's just perfect. Marvellous. That's really what I need, is to be in a car that isn't charging and could conk out at any moment and have the traffic just grind to a halt. That's bad times indeed. Now, there's a couple of things it could, well, there's a few things this could be. It could be that simply there's an earth that's a bit iffy, a bit intermittent. It could be the alternator brushes are stuck or worn out and not really making contact, or there is a regulator on the alternator. It could be that's at fault. Biggest problem is it's starting to steam up a bit, and I don't really want to run the aircon at the moment because more electric fans, more bad times, but I'm gonna have to, or I'm just gonna mist up and it's just gonna get dangerous. Can't really open the window because it's pouring down so much. So yeah, this journey not going well. Yeah, as you can see, this really is quite wet. It's getting very difficult to try and maintain battery life with all this going on. Oh, I've gotta love the M6. Now we've got a few issues to deal with here. We may make it back and that'd be good, or we may not, which would be bad. It would be especially bad because I doubt my recovery would come out again for the same issue. But I don't think it's a very easy job to get at the alternator. I don't think we're going to go for any roadside repairs here. So I don't think I've got any alternative but to push on and try and make it back. I just don't know how hard that battery is currently being hammered. I've got the wipers on intermittent just to try and help out a bit more, but again, we're starting to mist up, so I've got to give the aircon a blast for a bit. Worst possible conditions for this sort of an issue, really. I'm driving along on side lights. I don't like doing that when it's this spectacularly grim, but we are all driving slowly, so hopefully it's all right. But yeah, worrying times. We've made it to Shrewsbury, so we're closing in on the Welsh border. I think we've done about 60 miles so far. I can't recall exactly how many of those we've done with no charging. I think about 40. Trying to use the wipers as infrequently as possible. This is not ideal. Can we make it home? I reckon we've still got another 70 or 80 miles to go. It's just my luck to have a yellow warning for rain when I've got no charging going on. That's marvellous, that is. Lovely lane discipline being demonstrated by this Volvo here as well. Well, you've dropped down a bit because I've had to open your window to try and lighten the load. As you can see, the wipers are still a little on the slow side, but we are still moving. Still between Shrewsbury and Welshpool. Hoping for the best, really. The ABS is starting to kick in a little unusually, even though it shouldn't. So I think that's starting to see the battery voltage difference and is getting a little upset by it. My Lexus did this, my LS400, the alternator went. And actually the charge light didn't come on that, but pretty much every other dash light did. It behaved very oddly. Still, it's not pouring down for the moment. And I'm able to reduce wiper use. I've turned my lights off completely at this point because that FedEx fan hasn't got them on. So it must be all right. I've got windows open to try and ventilate without having to actually use the air conditioning. So it's starting to get a little cool in here, but it's 12 degrees outside. It could be worse. I've just confirmed on the sat nav, about 85 miles and about 2 hours to go. Well, I'm going to get my foot down because if I can save time, it might just help. And I've actually got a good run. It isn't often you get a good run along this road. Very, very busy. God, I've got range anxiety in a diesel car. We are officially back in Wales, but the ABS light has just come on. So that's the ABS system saying this is not enough volts. Slightly worrying. Still got quite a long way to go. Not actually that long since I last spoke to you, so we haven't actually reached Welshpool yet. Oh, those wipers do seem slow. Caught traffic up, caught traffic. Is bad news because that's more spray. That means more wiper use, and also means it takes longer because we've got a dawdling Primera up ahead. I'm a bit gutted actually. There's a nice little cafe in Tree Wern here. Used to be a little chef. And a very lovely little cafe called Moose Cafe, and they do very nice tea and cake. I was looking forward to partaking of tea and cake, but it is not to be. Welsh pull achieved. This is as far as we got under Rita's own power last night. Oh, things are getting desperate. The airbag light has now come on. The wipers are very slow. I would say we're probably considerably under 10 volts at the moment. I don't think I'm going to make it back. How many miles have I still got to go? 53 miles to go, another hour and a half pretty much. Yeah, not good times. Been flashed for not having my lights on, but I haven't got enough battery to have my lights on. It's becoming rather problematic. I may have to see if I can find someone I can visit who's got jump leads, and if we connect another car up and run it for 10 minutes, that might get me some useful juice, because otherwise I'm not going to make it. So I think I'm going to try and do that, because yeah, I've had enough of not being able to see where I'm going. We're at Llanidloes, where I used to have my old unit, and just to add to my woes, the road has been closed by an accident. So we can divert through the town, but I'm going to see if I can find someone I know here to loan me some electricity. Right, I'm going to push on for a friend of mine's at Llangurig. The road's been closed by a fatal accident, so that was this morning. So again, another reason to be glad I didn't try driving out this morning to get to Coventry. Would have been quite disastrous potentially. But yeah, plan is hook up to another car and see if we can put some volts in it just for that final push, so I can get the car back to the unit, swap to Myrtle and Matiz, and at some point sort out the alternator on this, find out what's going on with it, whether it's the regulator, whether it's the alternator itself. At this stage we really don't know, but yeah, let's push on and hope we can get to Llangurig. Jeepers, almost didn't make it up the hill. This is the horn. The horn isn't working. The windows barely there. The wipers wasn't actually supplying enough fuel to get up the hill. So I'm going to go and see if I can find Martin. We'll get this thing charging off something. Right, let me see if I can do this one-handed. This isn't easy, but if I'm at my friend's house. He's lent me his battery charger, said I'm welcome to have a cup of tea and wait around, socially distanced of course. And I haven't turned this voltmeter on. Sorry, it's been a bit of a fraught day. So this is where the battery is. The battery is at 11.2 volts. Now the standard resting voltage for a car battery is about 12.3, 12.4. So I'm going to connect this back up again. So it's charging at 10 amps. We'll leave that for an hour. Hopefully that will juice her up, and we'll be good for the last push home, the last 50 odd miles. But yeah, very nearly didn't make it. She was actually starting to slow down going up the hills. She hadn't got the energy to get up the hill. I don't think the fuel's coming through. Everything was packing up, even the horn. So glad to have some electricity. Well, we've only got about 11.7 volts into it. It was coming up as fully charged. I don't know what it's saying now. Oh no, it's still charging, ticking away. But I'm going to take my chances. We are pulling up a Mercedes to use as a jump start, just so I'm not taking anything out of this battery to get the Rover going again. So let's do that first and foremost. I got rain on the lens. Ugh. Well, we are on the move again. We have some volts. I don't know if it's enough. I've put my side lights on because it is horrible, but it's pouring down with rain again. I'm hoping it'll stop. Oh, the ABS is grumbling again. But yeah, we struggled to get too much jump in the battery. The battery charger reckoned it was fully charged, and it isn't, but at least the wiper speed, as you can probably see there, is improved. But if I turn you around slightly for a more of a forward view, yeah, they're still not great, and I'm still having to use them far more than I would like. But yeah, we're below the 50 mile mark now, I think. So hopefully we'll make it back to the unit and then we can find out what's actually wrong. So huge thanks to my friend Martin. I haven't seen him for ages, so it was good to have a quick catch up over a cup of tea. All a bit strange when you meet up with your friends and you have to keep your distance from them and wear masks, but there we go. Yeah, it still managed to be very helpful nonetheless. So we will push on and see how far we get. Hopefully all the way. But yeah, I'm very thankful to friends who help out in such times. And indeed, it's nice to help out your friends when they're having problems. So it's the circle of mechanical life. But I'm going to continue on. And yeah, fingers crossed. Well, I hate to be anticlimactical, but actually, look, the wiper speed has picked up. The battery light has gone off. We appear to have charging going on again. How very weird. Clearly, I've got something a bit intermittent. And intermittent usually hints at brushes. The brushes actually wear down because they're just lumps of carbon. They wear away with time. But yeah, God knows what's going on. I'm going to risk putting my headlights on then. It's back on again. But I think we got a useful amount of charge in there. We had charging going on while we were driving in some particularly heavy rain. And yeah, we're easily going to make it home. The kids will be distraught because I'm not going to risk going to Mackey's while I've got a car playing up. So I'm going to be in trouble. We might find ourselves going for a drive in Chemmy the Sherrard later on to make up for it, because they've done well. Today was their last day of school. They were homeschooling, but poor Miss Hubnut, she's been working very hard to try and keep on top of the home education. It is not at all easy. But yeah, that's it. Christmas holidays effectively. So that's good. But don't worry, plenty of videos coming. I've got lots of videos in progress at the moment, waiting for me to finish the jobs I've started. And I've got about 5 videos running concurrently at the moment of various jobs. So that will give me something to work on in the run-up to Christmas. And the good thing is, I think Miss Hubnut might be able to join me because she won't be trying to home educate children. And I think she'll far prefer getting her hands dirty in a freezing cold garage to doing that. But yes, well done Miss Hubnut and the Hublets for getting through these tricky old times. By the skinniest of margins we've made it. If I put the headlights on, yeah, you can't really see anything. We are so low on power. The engine is running, but isn't running very well. So I'm going to turn it off. You can wait here, Rita. Oh, don't waste power putting your interior light on. I'm driving home in Myrtle. Well, there we go. The weather's horrific. I'm going to wrap that one up. Thank you very much for watching. More in a future video. Farewell. Oh my gosh, it's wet.